Good morning and welcome to the Core Politics Morning Briefing with me, Rob Double. It is Friday, the 1st of September 2017. Let's have a look at what's making the headlines today. So as you can see, there's a pretty big spread on the newspaper front pages at the moment. So let's pick up one out to start with. The i-newspaper, student loan interest rates increase. Now, Theresa May, according to the i-newspaper, faces a backlash from senior Conservatives who are worried that the student loan increase rate to 6.1% will cause a £70,000 debt for some students going to university and could mean that a whole generation is lost of Tory voters because of the unbearable debt that they fear they're going to get with this interest rate. So that's a clear spread in the i-newspaper. Pick up one of those if you're interested in reading more. Next up, in the Sun newspaper, as you can see, Palace Uber driver there covering the court appearance of the man accused of driving at police and reaching for a 4-foot sword near Buckingham Palace. He says the paper said that it's emerged that Mr Chowdhury, who's 26 and from Luton, worked as an Uber driver and he was only actually near Buckingham Palace because of a sat-nav mix-up and he was actually supposed to be on his way to Windsor. Let's look in focus then at the real meat of the news today. This will be something which continues to be in the news throughout the day. More comments from MPs and politicians and influencers both here and in Europe, which is, of course, the Brexit negotiations. Now, yesterday was the final day of the third round of talks between Michel Barnier and David Davis. By far the most critical and by far the most hostile of the encounters between the two. Michel Barnier saying the UK's approach is nostalgic, unrealistic and undermined by a lack of trust. He particularly highlighted the Brexit Divorce Bill. Now that's, of course, the sum of money the UK must pay to leave the European Union in March 2017. But he's saying that Britain's refusal to honour long-term spending commitments, which were made before the referendum result, was damaging trust in the whole negotiation process. The Times, however, as you can see, is reporting EU wants billions in foreign aid. Now this is saying that the European Union is demanding billions of pounds after Brexit for missions such as aid in Africa, loans to Ukraine, and environmental projects across Europe, such as bridges for wildlife and such like. So have a proper read of that if you're interested in knowing about the Brexit Divorce Bill. Finally, then, let's look at one more story. This is from the Daily Telegraph. Now, they've been doing a long investigation into schools cheating or allegations of schools cheating. They're reporting now that the schools face exam cheat inquiry. The schools minister, Nick Gibb, has ordered an investigation into the private school cheating scandal. It's following suggestions that teachers could be banned from setting exam questions for their own students. At least 4 public schools have been investigated over allegations of malpractice. And if you remember, we covered the previous story in the Telegraph of a warning from Britain's leading private schools about teachers being placed in an impossible position when setting tests for their own subjects. That's pretty much it for today. You're up to date. Don't forget, we're going to be back next week at a slightly later time of 8:50 live here from London. But from me and all the team at Core London, have a fantastic weekend.